Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Calling all final boys and final girls, it's a time for another pulse-pounding episode of Final Guys! With the stars, Jack Campisi,
Happy Halloween, humans.
Jason Brant,
Oh,
and Joyce Randolph as Hunter Shea. Hi, everybody!
Howdy
I
ho.
don't know why I went with a Hacksaw Jim Duggan there. That was weird.
You can never go wrong with Hacksaw Jim Duggan,
true.
even in the bedroom.
You could have gone with Paul Bearer. My Undertaker will get you.
Oh, God. Paul Bearer.
Could have gone with Urkel. Did I do that? But you didn't. So, by the way, this is a horror podcast. We talk horror things, news, movies, books, sometimes a game, sometimes stupidity. Sometimes you talk about very private things. Sometimes I say things I shouldn't say in public. I will try not to tonight, even though I'm drinking the very potent Sea Hag IPA.
I don't know that
These are
one.
the last few cans left from Chiller Theater. It's in New England. I think it's from Rhode Island. It's everyone who tries it just they make this face. Oh, that's strong. I'm like, that's right. That's for men. Get your mitts off it. The tall one might like this. I think it's over 7% ABV.
And it would be in the running.
Oh no, it's 6.2.
No,
Sorry.
throw it out.
No good. Well, tonight we're going to talk about a movie that came out in the summer that you guys finally got around to watching called Crawl. But before we get there, what are the drinking rules tonight? Do we have any?
I've got them right here.
All right.
All right. Jack, if you say hurricane, kaya, or creature, then somebody's drinking somewhere, hopefully. Hunter, here's our slasher, black, and Bigfoot. And mine are silent, pepper, and palette. And the bonus words are sci-fi, alligator, and flood.
Wait, now he has Bigfoot on there. How? Oh, he must see that you post up the...
Yeah, I'm guessing he looks at the description where... I haven't mentioned this in months, but I put links to everything we're going to talk about in the show notes on both iTunes and YouTube. So if you want to get something, check it out. It's always there.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I'm going to open up another can.
Very nice.
There we go. So, as always, do we have anything to talk about, by the way, other than me and Jack went to Chiller Theater again?
Well, that's what I was
crushed
looking
it.
forward to hearing. I'll just say really quick, I'm hoping, we're 2 days early on Halloween here, 2 days before Halloween, I should say. I'm hoping to have a new So Bad It's Good out on Thursday for the Howling 7. The immortal Howling 7. So,
Damn.
if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, it's just Jason Brant. It's a picture of me with a mullet. You'll recognize it. And
Yeah.
Howling 7 coming soon.
You will laugh your ass off.
So tell me about Chiller.
You might laugh someone else's off. It was fun, right, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
I stayed there for
a
the
little
first
smaller than usual.
You know, remember when it was big and it had like so many like vending rooms and they had like the hallway of porn stars and the cubby of wrestlers and
Jeez.
I miss
Big
that
Bird.
hallway.
The wrestlers.
yeah, there was nothing like taking like a child and walking through those hallways and you say, oh, here's some Friday the 13th stuff and here's some Chiller. And then, whoa, gaping vaginas. Don't look at that table.
Oh.
I mean, just laid right out there, like full on Larry Flintland stuff.
So what do porn stars sign to things like this? Are they DVDs of their movies? Are they images of them naked?
8x10s, very explicit, or DVDs.
You used to get a couple of like adult film stars and a few like Playboy Playmates in a month kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's kind of gone away.
Remember when I got Gianna Michaels' autograph from my friend Shane? He was very happy with that. But this year, it's like every other year. I mean, there aren't a lot of horror people there. There's a lot of regular TV people. Like they had the cast of Fame, where we were staying in the hotel right next to it, which is connected to it. And Nia Peoples was on our floor. And I ran into Nia Peoples, I swear to God, about 6 times before I was done, to the point where I'm tired of looking at Nia Peoples.
Who's Nia Peoples? That's not ringing a bell.
From Fame, she was gorgeous. She still is gorgeous.
Probably best known as the female state trooper in Blues Brothers 2000.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Wow.
But I was happiest in the Friday the 13th room where I met one of the girls from the first one and then the twins from part 4 where we had a very nice conversation.
The twins loved you.
I think what was the capper was I said to them, I said, which one was thrown out the window? And then one pointed to the other and I was like, so somebody fell on that station wagon before, the final cut. Like, oh my God, nobody's ever noticed that. I said, yeah, I could see that hood was pre-dented. And I tried to get them to give me some Crispin and Glover dirt. They just kind of alluded to the fact that he was about as strange as you think he'd be.
He seems odd.
Yeah, just a little bit. But it was all fun until the bomb threat.
Yeah, which happened right as I was about to leave. I was about to do one more lap in the merch, and the fire alarm went off, and me and my buddy who was with me were like, well, I guess I just saved myself like $20-$40 by not picking up that last souvenir.
Oh my God, we spent so much money. My wife got autographs from Joyce DeWitt and Priscilla Barnes from Three's Company.
Oh,
$140.
What?
Yep. Which she didn't know until it was already done, and she was like, "Oh shit! Now I got to pay this."
What?
Yes.
People pay that knowingly?
It was like $80 for most people, like Elvira, Corey Spelling, all like the top level people,
80?
like $80.
That seems
like
exorbitant.
The baseline is 40 now. Just a few years ago it was 20, but the baseline is now 40.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of people. You did it way more than I did. I didn't get anybody's autograph. I didn't talk to anybody. I stood next to you.
I got a final girl fetish.
There was nobody there that really, like, usually if I walk in and I see, like, the year Greg Brady was there, I was like, I got to talk to him.
Right.
Wow.
I was happy. I probably sealed the death of Anne Robinson, who was in War of the Worlds, because usually when I get an old person's autograph, they are dead before the next chiller. So I apologize to the family.
That's crazy that it's up that much now, because I think it scares. The most expensive person was maybe 40. I think that was it.
I think Chiller's a different animal. It's a very big convention. They pay a lot in taxes to the state of New Jersey. And, I mean, they get thousands and thousands of people. So it's a payday.
The lines for Elvira and Shirley Jones were a mile long.
Oh.
By the way, if they just waited for the bomb threat, we were sitting on a bench outside, and Elvira was in the bench right next to us.
Really?
But I was so drunk, I was more concentrating on guys taking pisses in the bushes and putting them on social media while they were peeing.
Awesome. Sounds like a good event.
I was shit-faced by the bomb threat. It was a mercy. It was like when you could go back and go up to your room and pass out.
I had a monkey's paw like moment. When I first got there, I got this. I never get a parking space in the main lot. And this year I did. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. It's like a dream come true, a wish come true. Then, just as I'm about to leave, fire alarm goes off, everybody evacuates, and now suddenly I can't navigate the parking lot because everybody from the convention is standing in the freaking parking lot, ignoring all the cars that are trying to get out. It was unbelievable.
Oh, by the way, the biggest pickup of the whole thing was this book, The Monster Men, by Edgar Rice Burroughs,
awesome.
Of all people. So, couldn't pass that up. And I also got The Lady from the Black Lagoon. I don't know if you guys have heard of this book. It's about the woman who designed the creature effects, but was never given credit and basically quit Hollywood right after.
No.
So, just started reading it. It is phenomenal.
Cool.
Future episode. So, all right, we're done with Chiller, right, Jack?
We are done.
We're done. All right, let's go to news. Here you go.
All right.
Transition.
We'll make this quick.
Go to the news.
First of all, remember last week we talked about David Duchovny had joined the Craft reboot, remake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Michelle Monaghan has joined it. You know that lovely
Oh
actress?
yeah, I know
I
Michelle.
like her. God, lecherous
Yeah,
reaction.
I don't know why that came out so creepy.
I think she was in True Detective.
Was she? Oh
think
yeah,
she was
the
Woody
wife.
Harrelson's
That's
wife.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Again, no information about who she's playing or whatever. So now you've got Duchovny and Michelle Monaghan. So there are now two people in this movie who I will recognize.
I love her in the Heartbreak Kid.
All right.
She's in that movie with Robbie Downey Jr. where she's wearing like the Santa hat.
Yeah, he's the actor pretending to be a detective. What the hell is that called? That's a good movie.
I know it's a
Kiss
very
Kiss Bang
noir-
Bang.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Kiss.
She's also
You're right.
Tom Cruise's ex in the new Mission Impossible movies. She's in like 10 minutes in each movie.
Good for her. Getting paid.
Yeah.
The next one is Blumhouse is doing that, but they're also doing, this is in a rumor stage, but pretty substantial. Blumhouse is working on a body swap horror flick, like a horror Freaky Friday.
I was going to say Freaky Sunday.
And what the hell's his name? Alan Ruck, who was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Cameron.
Oh.
Let my Cameron go.
He's going to be in it, and this is not official or anything yet, but the rumor is that Vince Vaughn is going to be the other.
Ooh.
Okay.
So I think Vince Vaughn will be the horror.
We get
side.
big, bald, scary Vince Vaughn?
Yeah,
That'd be
from
awesome.
Cell Block 99.
All right.
Damn, I love that Vince Vaughn.
All right.
So we'll see. Nothing, no details besides that. But Cameron, of course, we all remember him as the captain of the starship in Star Trek Generation.
Of course.
Mm.
Now,
This is Mr. Peterson.
as you know, Disney Plus is launching next month,
Mhm.
and Disney has all the money. They are not a dumb company, because this platform, they're putting out Star Wars series, they're putting out Marvel series, and like they did a trailer for The Mandalorian that looks better than any Star
Yeah.
Wars thing that's ever been.
Yeah. It looks better than any of the movie's trailers. It's insane.
It looks amazing. Well, they now have in development and are looking to tap into the original cast a sequel to Hocus Pocus just for the streaming platform.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, if there was 5 or 6 people left who weren't going to get Disney Plus, they just got them.
So they're dropping
With-
big money on this.
Yeah.
Boy. Well,
Good
Kathy Najimy is half the size she was. Bette Midler is twice the age, and Sarah Jessica is probably twice as ugly. So this should be interesting.
Wow.
They'll see
Jesus.
the Marvel CGM.
God.
It's not an
damn.
episode of Hunter doesn't knock some celebrities' looks.
I'm just stating it might be too late.
God damn, man.
Thora Birch, who was the little girl in that, is now on The Walking Dead. That's
Is
one
she?
of those. Yeah.
Wow.
Both her breasts?
Jesus
What?
Christ. I don't
Let it
move
go.
on. Help.
I
All right.
have a friend who's obsessed with her chest.
And then just to step on what
Jason's face is awesome.
No.
just to step on
She's
what
30-something years old. It's fine. Sorry, Jack.
I just want to step on Jason's news before he tries to throw it in before we change topics. Joe Bob's going to do a Christmas
Oh, yeah.
special as well. So it's going to be called something like Red Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did one for Halloween last week. He showed like 3 of the Halloween movies. He's going to do a Christmas one. It's going to be on December 13th, Friday, December 13th.
What were
That's
the
sick.
Halloween movies that he did?
1, 4, and 5. So that was great since I just freaking watched all of them in the last 6 weeks. So I basically just put it on the side, and anytime I saw he was on, I would pay attention because like I did not need to watch 4 and 5 again.
No.
So I just got the Shudder app so I could watch that thing live.
Mhm.
Popped it in, watched the first Halloween for the most part, and him jumping in, and quickly realized I really don't need to watch these live.
They're good
Right.
if you have people over. To sit by yourself, it's long. It's like 2.5 hours a movie.
Yeah, that goes into way into the night. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll check out the first one. And then, but there was some fun stuff in
Yeah,
there.
I made it till
But
about
anyway.
1 o'clock in the show, and I realized I'd been drinking for something like 8 hours, and I just needed to go to sleep.
Oh, Jesus. Sunday night, I watched 1, 2, and 3 by myself without Joe Bob.
Mm.
I forgot how stupid 2 is.
Right? It's not a good movie.
Jamie Lee looks so disinterested. You can almost see the gun pointed at her head.
Well, when you read a script and it says shoot him in both eyes, and he's still alive. Wait, what?
And she was about both eyes. He only has one.
And then you watch part 3, which is also stupid.
No.
I love part 3. You jerk.
It's a stupid movie, though.
You know what? Forget it. You're not my will anymore.
See, I'm tired of you being the one who tells us what are the stupid movies and not.
I am the arbiter
I will
of
tell
what's good or
you.
bad.
Part 2 is better than part 3, so shut up.
Oh, no.
John Carpenter would kick you in the nards for that comment.
John Carpenter would buy me a beer for that statement.
John Carpenter would maybe give you a smoke.
I doubt he would even give any of us the time of day. He doesn't seem overly lovely. Although he seemed better in recent years.
Yeah, you know.
He seemed a little less assholey.
A little less caustic. So is that all the news, Jack?
All the news. Let's do something else.
All right, guess what, everybody? It's time to talk about the movies we watch. We call curation, staff picks, whatever you want to call it.
We have such sights to show you.
And as always, we start with Jason because we know he has the most amount of free time on his
I
hands.
have no life. Yes, that is correct. I'll kick it off with a Shudder original that I've been wanting to see for a little bit now, called The Furies. I always want to call it The Furries.
The Furries. That's a
It'd be
different
very
movie.
different movie.
The bronies.
The Furries. It's an Australian movie, I guess, based on their accents. I didn't have time to look anything up. But this woman and her friend are arguing, and they get kidnapped in a tunnel. And when she wakes up, she's in the middle of the woods. She doesn't know how she got there, where she is, what's going on. And a serial killer-looking man appears and starts chasing her, trying to kill her. She runs into other women and other killers along the way as she's trying to figure out what in the hell is going on and how to survive the experience. It turns into it's part slasher, part mystery, part The Running Man, I guess.
Richard Dawson, is it?
Yeah.
Or is Steve Harvey in it?
Richard Dawson. We'll go with that because he was amazing in The Running Man.
He was.
This was a pretty dang fun movie. There's one original part in it that has to do with the killers and the final girls on the island with them. That's a little different, but the rest of it consists of things we've seen in other movies that I won't spoil. But so it's not the most original movie, but it's well made. It's entertaining and it held my interest. And there are a couple of gore scenes in this that are nuts. One particularly around the, 15-20 minute mark, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is long. It's just, yeah,
Really?
it's brutal. There's a couple kills in this that are outstanding. So if you're looking for a modern day slasher kind of thing with interesting practical effects, check out The Furies on Shudder. It's worth a view.
I'm glad you did that because I watched the trailer and it didn't really hook me. So I was happy to hear that you checked it out. Because
Jack went right to YouPorn and watched The Furries.
have you been looking at my browser history again?
Well, yes, at Chiller, I went and took a look.
Yeah, it's nothing amazing, but I had a good time with it.
Cool. What about you, Jack?
I got some good stuff this week.
Good. First, by the way, let's congratulate Jason. That might be his first positive pick in his curation in 3 weeks.
I'm no longer watching these shitty horror sequels, so my mood is so elevated right now.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's the best.
Okay, there is a remake of Rabid that's coming out next month.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back and watched the original Rabid from 1977, the Cronenberg movie.
I've never seen it.
Cronenberg and Marilyn Chambers.
I
Really?
saw this movie in high school, and I do not remember a minute of it. Turned it on and had totally been oblivious to the fact that Marilyn Chambers, the adult film star, is the star of this movie. I was like, what? So that number one. And this is like prime Marilyn Chambers. Like, she is gorgeous in this. Like,
Yeah, she looked good in it.
All right.
and her acting is pretty good in it. Like,
Yeah.
So this movie is about this couple are on a motorcycle. They have an accident. They happen to be near this plastic surgery institute, and it's the closest place for them to get treated. And she gets this experimental surgery done on her that causes her to crave human blood. And I was this is where I totally forgot about this movie. I thought she was going to bite people to get the blood, but no, she has like this.
Well,
thing
she does bite people, but it
looks like a From Beyond thing from the guy's forehead, but it comes out of like her armpit.
Very Cronenberg.
And so she hugs. Very Cronenberg.
Totally.
And then those people get infected with like this rabies. So like you can see the roots of 28 Days Later in this movie. So I'm very happy to have gone back and watched this. I think this is on Shudder.
Really?
It used to be on Showtime all the time too.
I'm sure it's on Prime. I know I did not pay a dime to see it besides my subscription. So this was a fun one to go back and see. And I actually think I saw the trailer for the remake, and I have no idea how it's going to be. But as I watched this, I said, this is one of those movies that doesn't get talked about a whole lot. And I could see where it could actually be a good one to do a remake of. The Soka sisters, I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Soska sisters? I think that's how
those sisters that do horror that start with an S are doing it. So we'll see how it is. But I would suggest going back and checking this out. It's a notable movie in horror history. And like I said, I saw it back in the 80s and did not remember a minute of it. So.
Look, if somebody tells you there's a horror movie with starring a porn star who's a vampire who sucks blood through her armpit, you'd be like, well, that's total shit. And it's not.
But then you find out it's Cronenberg.
Really surprising
when
when you watch
can't
it.
be too bad.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, I
just checked and it is on Shudder, so I've just added that to my list.
Oh, is
it's
it?
A serious blind
I think
spot for me. I don't know how I never saw it.
Steve Barnard, I believe, is watching it tonight.
He said he's watching the remake.
Yeah,
which doesn't come out in the U.S. till November. So
he lives at a base under the equator, so I'm sure he can get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I'm sure he's watching it in the theater right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my turn. By the way, we are 2 days away from Halloween. I have watched 48 movies so far this month. So my goal was 50. Last year I hit 49 and I was pissed. So I will hit 50. But I don't know what tonight's going to be. I'll let the missus pick it tonight.
All right.
So I'm only going to talk about one movie and one book today. If you want to see the movies I watched, go look at my Twitter account, Hunter Shea 1, and see my little Horrortober picks. And I can't talk about this movie enough. Last night again, I watched It Follows. This is my favorite horror movie since The Thing. And it's very funny that I say that because it's very Carpenter-esque, including the opening scene where it's in this suburban neighborhood and this girl comes running out and she's kind of running for her life. And he used the same lenses that Carpenter used when he shot Halloween.
Okay.
And it has, to me, the best score of a horror movie by Disaster Piece, which is actually one dude. And it's a movie it's a possession movie, but it's a possession that's transferred through sex. So it's an STD movie. So
that hurts.
If the thing that's following you lay it into somebody, then it starts to follow them. The cool thing with this movie is you never know what the thing, what the demon or whatever you want to call it is that's going to come for you. It could look like anything, but it's always walking and always coming, and only you can see it. So the cool thing is that Jay, played by Micah Monroe, has a great circle of family and friends, all these kind of fucking wayward kids in the Detroit suburbs left to their own devices. But even they, as much as they try, they can't help her, because if they can't see it coming, they are powerless to help you.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you bang someone and give it to them, if they die, it's coming back for you.
Yep.
So it's a brilliant idea. It looks, every time I watch this movie, my wife hates watching this with me because like, oh my God, that shot is framed so beautifully. I'm almost like you with friggin' aspect ratios.
Oh, just wait. I got something coming up.
Oh,
This movie, I own this on Blu-ray too. And I don't buy a ton of movies, but this one I wanted to have. This, like The Sixth Sense, is a great movie to watch a second and third time because you start to look in the background because you never know the shape that it's going to take. So when you go back and watch it a second time, you're like, oh, that person in the background was it. Or
yeah, I still notice things. The director, I remember he talked about the hardest part. It was filmed in Detroit by 8 Mile. And every time I watch it, my wife goes, is Detroit really like that? I'm like, yeah, if you want a house for $5, we can go out there right now.
It's even worse now than when they shot it.
Yeah. He said one of the hardest things in shooting the movie was finding a giant in Detroit. Because one of the its is a giant. In fact, he's used twice. I think because he worked so hard to find him. He's like, I'm going to fucking use this guy twice.
Imagine not getting your equipment stolen was probably not easy either.
Look, the whole movie to me is worth it for the shot of after Michael Monroe and the guy have sex and she's in that car parked outside like an abandoned hospital or asylum. Mm-hmm. Just the way that shot creeps into the car and the way it's lit. It's Jesus Christ. It's horror movie porn for me. It's so good.
To me, it's a modern classic. And the idea of it and the way he uses it is brilliant. But then also using kids is a great device because one of my friends, I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, go have sex with a hooker. She's going to have sex with 70 people in the next day and you're scot-free. You know, I'm thinking, I'll fly to France. I'll do that. I'm starting to think of ways to get around it, but kids are stupid.
Right.
So by having it be kids, they're coming up with dumb plans that obviously aren't going to work, but they're kids. So you forgive a lot of it. And I thought that was a
the
move.
plan in the pool was the dumbest thing ever.
It's the worst idea. Just get in a car and drive. Like,
but see, now the hooker thing, I thought about that. So you have sex with the hooker, right? The hooker has sex with a John who might not have sex with anyone but his wife.
That's true.
So, and if they don't know the rules, within a week it could be right back on you.
I guess I'm just assuming. I'm going volume, I guess, on her behalf.
Dude, I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking, all right, hookers bang a lot of people. Like, but wait a second, she only passes it on to one, and if that guy's only passing it on to his wife, oh my God!
But she has so many that she would keep if it came back to her
every time it's on the way back, she's
passing it off to somebody else very quickly, unless she takes a week off.
You know what? That's genius.
Or if she has one of her Johns is like in from out of town and never goes back to California or something. Now it's all the way across the country and it's got a
Arab Sheik. Although I don't think Arab Sheiks are going to 8 Mile to get a hooker.
Yeah, I love the movie. It's great. It's a lot of fun to talk about too.
Yeah, it's amazing. I will talk about this movie all the time.
Else since?
Yeah, he did. Is it Under the Silver Lake, which is a very long, very uneven. That's not horror.
Yeah, it just came out this year, wasn't it? Maybe last year
or last year. But now you can watch it in a lot of places.
I didn't see it. Okay.
That's in my queue, and I've never pulled the trigger on it.
I haven't heard a lot of good stuff about it, so. Yeah.
I mean, I will watch it just to see how it's filmed, and maybe ignore the story.
Check out that aspect ratio. All right, so based on Jack's glowing review, I watched Hell House LLC 3: Lake of Fire.
Good golly!
Thought I warned you. Oh, the ending! The ending.
There's a shot at the ending that's not great. I'll tell you what, I didn't hate this, which I think is kind of what you said. You know, I really liked the first one. I thought the second one was not that great. I actually think this one's a step up from the second one. And I appreciate what they're trying to do. They're trying to build this mythology about this hotel in these 3 micro-budget films, which I can't imagine how hard that is. And I appreciate that I get to watch them for free on Shudder. So it wasn't like a waste of my time or anything. But it definitely could have used a little better acting by some of the character on some of the characters' parts. And some of the writing, some pieces of dialogue in it were like, that could have used just a little polish there. It, but
that's what happens with micro budgets.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is there are so many characters in each movie that when they're talking about what happened to them, they have to flash back to them in the movie. So it's like they literally have to do it because I have no idea who they're talking about. But it also detracts from the current story, so it doesn't help with the flow a lot. But I don't know of any way they could have got around it. I mean, the first movie had how many characters creating that haunted house? And they're referencing them. Yeah. And then they're also referencing what happened to characters in the second one with the show. And then you have 87 new characters in this one. And it's just... the fact that they managed to come up with any kind of cohesive story with what they did is... like, they deserve a plus for that alone. But, if you like the first two, you're going to love this. Because it's just... it's the same thing, the same cool location.
Right.
It could have been worse.
They're just under the illusion that people care that much, to remember that much.
I enjoyed parts of it, you know. I mean, if you write in a sequel, it's always a question of how much reintroduction do I have to do to this character because people aren't going to remember who the hell I'm talking about. It's always an issue, and this one, there's so many freaking characters. There's a lot of flashbacks.
Oh God!
If you like them, it's.
I am paying attention to Jack. I am not watching it. I'm out.
The last scene of that movie. Oh.
Yeah. Maybe they should have shot something else there because the CG did not hold up.
So, Jack, did you watch like an advanced shootings scenes for part 4
of the Abaddon Hotel?
Yeah. No. So, what did you watch? I guarantee it's Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, or something.
Nope, I'm saving that for next week.
Oh, see, I knew.
I watched something else that bumped that to next week. You watched this movie, Hunter, before, and I pulled the trigger on it this week, and I am so freaking happy I watched this movie. It's called The Lure.
Oh, yes.
Musical horror movie about mermaids. That's, I believe,
Poland.
Polish.
Yes.
Wow. Can't wait.
This was a drunken New Year's Eve watch with me and my daughter a couple of years ago.
This movie feels like ABBA decided to make a mermaid porno and then decided, nah, that'll be too small of an audience. So let's just put some nudity in it. We've got like the music, we've got some nudity, but we'll make it a horror movie instead. And that will get... what we'll use, we'll loosely base it on the Little Mermaid story. But make it horror.
It's incredible.
And it is a fascinating movie and entertaining all the way. I am not exactly sure what happened at every moment of this movie, but it doesn't matter because you get the gist of it. And it is so freaking fun.
Wow.
I'm so happy I watched this movie.
The balls it took to take that idea and put it on the screen, huge balls.
Now, there's this movie called The Lighthouse that just came out, and there's rumors of mermaid sex in it. Well, this movie will just flat out tell you how that is done.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about how it works.
There are people having sex with mermaids, babies.
Wow. So you had me at ABBA mermaid porn, so.
Yeah, the two girls, if they did like a ABBA biopic, these two could have played the two ABBA chicks.
Seriously, Jason, it's jaw-dropping. Like your mouth drops from the first 2 minutes in and never comes back up again until it's over.
It is a musical. They sing and they're like talking about what they're feeling and stuff like that. And then like they eat a guy. Like it's just...
Wasn't there an English mermaid movie that came out around the same time?
Like Killer Mermaid?
There's one called Killer Mermaid that I've got bookmarked in my queue.
Do not watch.
All right.
Don't. Okay.
Where did you watch The Lure? I see it on Amazon.
It's on Prime.
Okay. It's like $4 on Amazon right now. Maybe it just left. Damn it.
A good double feature is that and Thale. If you can
I haven't seen Thale yet. I haven't seen Thale.
Thale is it's a more solid movie. It's a better movie.
That might be what I'm thinking of. Thale.
Thale is with that like woodland creature. This Polish Mermaid musical is insane.
All right.
They basically
Damn it.
join a band and play in a club where they sing and strip and then like convert into mermaids for the crowd.
Yeah,
Wow.
like what happens in Poland.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I am telling you, Hunter, you watched this a long time ago.
Yeah,
So-
with my daughter.
And what happened was a friend of mine watched it last week and was like, "Have you seen this movie?" And I'm like, "No, you know what? I've always meant to watch that." It's like Hunter told me to watch it, and he's like, "You got to watch it." So I went home with homework and came back like, "Oh my god!" So
I'm glad
happy.
you watched it.
Yeah.
Now you're in the club.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So watch lore. Watch the lore.
You can't unsee Lore Club. I'm going to actually talk about a book. I read. It's funny because I had the audiobook and then something got screwed up. Nick Sullivan, who is he's an audiobook narrator who does a ton of audiobooks. He's an actor. He's actually phenomenal. I met him when I went out for beers with Chris Sorensen, the guy who wrote The Nightmare Room.
Mhm.
I think The Nightmare. I've been drinking. So anyway, I met Nick and he said, "Oh, I wrote this book." He goes, "Because you're the Squatch guy. You like cryptids." He goes, "I wrote Zombie Bigfoot." So he gave me an audio for the book, and I listened to like half an hour, and then something got screwed up. So I said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to buy the book." Oh my God, this book was so much fun. This is top 3 of cryptid books I've ever read, and I've read a ton.
Wow.
Way too many, one might say. This is about an expedition run by kind of like a Ted Turner kind of guy who has made a bunch of bad investments, and he found out that there's this professor who was trapped for a while and conversed with a Sasquatch and taught him sign language and everything. So they have his daughter and a team going back to look for these Sasquatches. Here's the cool thing. It goes between the human expedition and the Sasquatch clan. So you're getting what's going on with the Sasquatches, which the device is cool because what he taught the one Sasquatch, he's taught to his clan. So the English kind of translates a little bit.
Huh. All right.
Yeah. And the best part is there's zombie campers in there who bite a Bigfoot, who was the leader of the clan, and he becomes a zombie.
That's hilarious.
So it's so tongue in cheek. It's so well written. It never lets up. It's like a Jason Brant novel. It just fucking goes from 0 to 60 from page 4 and just keeps rolling until you're just breathless. It's really, really good. Vicious when it needs to be.
All right.
Touching at some points because you're like rooting for like baby Sasquatches and shit like that. And there's all kinds of crazy weapons and drones and stuff going on. It's bananas. And it's book 1.
I was going to say, when I was getting the link, it looked like it was part of a series.
Yes. So, but it's a series I think that's going to go to different cryptids. He wrote it a few years ago. It's phenomenal. Look, if you're looking for a fun ass Bigfoot adventure cryptid book, this is it. So you got to check out Zombie Bigfoot. You'll love it, Jason.
All right. I will do that. Looked like it was only a couple bucks.
Yeah. Pick it up, man.
All right. So every few years I get around to watching Silent Hill, which is, if it's not my wife's favorite horror movie, it's her top 3 probably.
Can we get her on to talk to her?
Yeah, probably
Have
not.
an intervention?
So this is a movie that I kind of liked when it came out, and the more I've seen it, the more I like it, and now I love this movie. I think it has
What?
some of the coolest visuals of any horror movie of the last 15, 20 years. It's freaking good. The biggest problem is the writing. At the beginning, the mother is making decisions that are just like, the fuck? Like, why are you running from the police? Like, what the hell is going on? So there's stupid shit like that. But once they get into Silent Hill, the music and the visuals in this are mind-bogglingly good. Like, the music is just unreal. It's one of the best scores in decades for a horror movie.
This is 2 movies with great scores.
Yeah, it's just, the music's so good. And then the visuals, the way they did the ash and the pyramid head guy, And the movie's very creepy at the beginning, but not gory or anything. It's just you don't know what's happening. There are cool creatures, but man, the last act of this is so gory, it's insane. The pyramid head dude grabs a woman's skin on her chest and just rips all her skin off, and it's just holy shit. And that's when you know the movie's getting real. And I really appreciate this now. If there had been a little bit of a couple fixes with some of the mother's decisions in the writing department, I think this would have gone down as an all-time classic. It's worth a rewatch if you haven't seen it since it came out.
This says a lot because you will eviscerate a movie for bad writing.
That was my biggest issue with this in rewatching it. Maybe yesterday, I think we watched it. The writing at the beginning, I was like, no one would do this. Like, damn it. But
where did you see this? I've never seen this movie.
I've had a copy for
Really?
years. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had one iota of interest, except a while back, Jason talked about this movie. And so I was like, okay, maybe I should watch it. But I don't know if I've been able to find it or if I've just forgotten. So is it like on Prime or anything? Or?
I have a copy of it, so I don't know if you can get it for free anywhere or not.
I agree. Visually, it's stunning. It's just my problem was always the story was so stupid. I couldn't get past it. But now I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Is this one? Does that have like a faceless nurse or something? Or
yep, a lot of them in one scene. Yeah.
Okay, so Hunter and I were at a horror convention a couple of years ago in Connecticut, and there was a back massage place where the women who were doing it were dressed up in costumes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And this woman was in I didn't know it was Silent Hill at the time. I just thought it was like zombie nurse or something.
Yeah.
She gave me, both of us.
Ugh.
You bought a round of massages for us. Oh my God, that was like the best 5 or 10 minutes of my life. Like,
How
I have
often
no
can you
idea
buy a
what
round of massages at a horror convention, right?
I know. And you just go, here, it's on me. You want a massage? I'm like, yeah. I have no idea what this woman looked like, but when I was done, I go, I love you. I want to marry you. Like, it was just
She had this terrifying face thing on, but her body was
magic hands.
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So yeah, worth a watch. Ignore
All
the
right.
CG at the end.
I'm gonna rewatch it. All right, Jason, Jack, whoever.
All right. I'm going to keep up with the aquatic theme and watch a movie that, Hunter, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but every year I like to sneak in at least one Universal horror monster movie. And this year I watched Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Ooh,
Oh my God,
nice.
that's I haven't caught that. I've watched 2 and 3.
Now,
Remember the original?
this is like your favorite movie or one of your favorite movies.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
And
Old
like you
time.
and Lyle Blackburn like to act like it's your movie and nobody else and all
Yeah.
that, whatever.
Because it is our movie.
And you're ready to like knock me for Christopher Lee Dracula movies.
No,
Whatever.
it wasn't. I count on that.
Well,
Christopher Lee is the best Dracula.
Thank you. Anyway, so here's my thing. I have not seen Creature from the Black Lagoon in a billion years. And I get it confused because when I really haven't watched them since like I was in high school or college or so. And it was always like, which one am I watching? Is it Revenge of the Creature? Is it Creature of the Black Lagoon?
Right.
So this was like a concerted, like, I got to sit down and watch this start to finish. And I will tip my cap to you. This is definitely one of the best Universal monster movies. It is definitely the fastest paced out of all of them. If you watch Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, they are harder to watch than this movie.
Yes. Even though this is the longer of them all too.
It's longer than all of them, but first of all, the in your book, that you got should cover a lot of this. The water photography they did in this movie is spectacular.
And Jack Arnold didn't know how to swim and was terrified of the water.
Was he really?
That was
The
his second
scenes
unit director.
of the woman swimming and the creature like underneath mirroring her.
Oh my God.
All that, like,
How about that bathing suit Julia Adams wore?
giddy up.
Good Lord.
So I'm very happy. Like I watched The Wolfman. The Wolfman's a really slow movie.
Yeah. Ron Chaney is just such a long-faced fucking guy. Jesus.
So I watched like a couple of the Boris Karloff, like with the Black Cat or something like that. All of them are like the Mummies. They're all fun to go back and watch, but this was one that I hadn't seen in so long, and I had a blast with it. So I don't know how the sequels are, but
It gets worse as it goes down. The second one's good. The third one is like, holy cow. Well, all right. Good thing we pulled the plug.
But yeah, so good watch if you're looking for a Universal horror movie. This is one of those ones that like everybody watches Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. This is one of the like also rans, but this is definitely like one of the more entertaining ones. So
hey, Rico Browning's the last Universal monster still alive. By the way, I saw this once performed with a live orchestra that performed the score with the movie behind them. And I saw it once in the movie theater recently, a couple of years ago, in 3D with restored 3D. That was amazing. I'm sure you saw it on 3D with the glasses from 7-Eleven when we were kids on TV.
Yeah, that was saying that might be the last time I saw that movie.
So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a movie in more different ways than that.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I really need to revisit it.
Oh, come to my house. You sit on my lap. Let's watch it
Sold.
together.
Tubby time?
Totally.
Hunter, I mean, you can see behind him. You have a Creature from the Black Lagoon flask behind you, and isn't that her, the pinup girl behind you? Isn't that
That's from Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yes, it was a model that did a little thing. There's my flask. Creatures everywhere in my house.
All right. I need to watch it. Damn it.
You do.
Well,
But before you watch that, what did you watch this week?
one last quick thing. I watched on your recommendation Homecoming on Amazon Prime with Julia Roberts. And definitely not horror. It's more of a mystery kind of thing. But I wanted to mention it for the same reason you did. The way they use classic horror songs, horror orchestras in this is freaking amazing. We're watching. I'm like, is that the thing? What the hell? And I had to look it up. There's Halloween 3.
The thing? The fog? Halloween? Yeah,
it's
I know.
Just Carpenter City all through this show. And if you like aspect ratios like I do, this one goes deep in the aspect ratio lore.
It does.
It took me a while to figure out when they were using which one and why, but it's a really well done show. The first episode, I was thinking, this is a weird ass show. Why did he tell me to watch this? And once I got 2 or 3 in, I was hooked. I mean, it's really good.
Yeah. Nobody talked about the music.
Oh, the music's the best part.
Had me.
Yeah, it's amazing. If you love
and the cinematography
horror,
is amazing.
Yeah, it looks. That's something. I'm glad you mentioned that. I almost forgot. It looks like an old movie, like something from the 70s, even though it takes place in 2018 and 2022. But it almost looks like they used really old lenses because you'll see on the bottom and on the sides, it's out of focus, like an old camera lens. So I didn't have time to look up and see if that's the way they did it, but it looks like something shot 30, 40 years ago. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
good.
artistic.
Good job. There's a second season coming.
I heard, but it's not going to have anything to do with the first, I guess. Something like that.
It can't really. I think it's.
I wouldn't think so.
So who knows? Whatever. I saw the
Anyway,
first season. I'm
go
happy.
watch it on
I
Prime.
don't care about the rest. All right. Are we spent? All the bullets?
we're spent?
All right. Here we go. Main feature. Crawl, baby.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Now, don't confuse Crawl with Klaus Kinski's Crawl Space. Very different movie. But European directors in both cases. So, Jack, as always, we're going to defer to you. Why don't you give us the elevator pitch on this movie called Crawl?
There's a hurricane coming in Florida. This girl who is a Florida Gator swimmer is asked by her sister to check on her father, who's not answering his phone, who happens to live in the hurricane zone. So this girl gets around the police barrier, gets to their house to find her father, finds that he is trapped in the crawl space under their house, where she ends up also trapped. And not only are there impending floodwaters, but there is a big-ass alligator in the crawl space with them. And more on the way.
Spoiler!
Crawl.
Crawl is the crawl space, not the alligators crawling around.
Yeah. Whatever. It's the simplest plot
By the way,
ever.
it's directed by Alexander Aja, who did High Tension and a bunch Hills Have Eyes remakes
Texas
and stuff.
Chainsaw Massacre remake.
He's damn good.
We will talk about all the unrealistic or exaggerated things that happen in this, but the most unbelievable thing about this whole movie is a house in Florida with a crawl space.
This is very true. That does not exist down there. But whatever. We're going to let that go.
Whatevs.
So I saw this movie when it came out in the theater. It was me and like two other dudes with raincoats on their laps. Saw this on a matinee one day. You guys finally got around to seeing it. So, and I told you guys I love this movie because you don't see many monster movies like this out in theaters. I'm interested to hear, Jason, what you thought of it.
I liked it. I'm shocked. I liked it. It's dumb in a way that you have to forgive certain things for you to get any enjoyment out of this, such as why are these alligators so freaking huge, and since when have alligators attacked people like this? I mean, it's just insane how aggressive these alligators are, and they're bigger than freaking crocodiles. I mean, these things are massive. They're dinosaurs.
Yeah, they are huge.
So if you can forgive those two things, then you should be able to be along for the ride with this and just enjoy the zaniness of it and the fun. So I enjoyed it. It's not my favorite movie of the year or anything, but I didn't expect it to be. We basically got to see a big budget Sci-Fi Channel movie with Barry Pepper in it, and I love me some Barry Pepper. So,
there we go. See,
I enjoyed it.
What about you, Jack?
I was pleasantly surprised by this movie, and based on a lot of reviews, I kind of expected that was going to happen because you came back loving it, and then the reviews online, everybody's like, "Whoa, wait! This movie had no business being as fun as it was."
Mm-hmm.
So, I have no regrets in not seeing it in the theater, but I'm very happy that I watched it. And again, I keep saying this every week. In a weak year of horror movies, this is like gold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have no regrets.
Yeah, no. There were a lot of things that we'll get into in spoilers where you're just like, yeah, okay, that's ridiculous. But there's so much fun in this movie, and there's so many. They really play with what you can see above water and below, and great aerial shots to show you the shadows of the gators and all that, and just building up, the rising water, and the alligators keep getting access to more of the house and things like that. Just a lot of fun and no nonsense. There's no fat on this movie. You meet the girl, she gets to the house, and there's a gator, and boom.
And everybody be bit quickly.
Oh my God.
Everybody is bleeding and hurt.
Yes.
God help you if you show up to this house.
So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I was I enjoyed this movie a lot.
I will reiterate, I had an absolute blast with this movie. For me to see a creature feature on the big screen, it's just so enjoyable. Like when I started, it was like, oh, top 10. This is top 10 of the year. Even if it was a strong year, the fact that I got to see something like this by a really good director in a movie theater, I just appreciate it so much. I wish tens of millions of people went to see this so we could get more of it.
It made a lot of money.
It did, actually. I did not give a crap about realism. I don't care. Just make this as crazy as you want. You could go full Sharknado at this point when in more capable hands, and I'm down for it. There were some parts I laughed my ass off on. It looked really good in the big screen.
It looked great in my theater. I mean, the effects were surprising.
Yeah. It's just, and that, God, well, I mean, there's a point with looters, which is one of my favorite scenes of the year.
Yes.
It should happen to every effing ass tard who goes to loot places.
When conveniently across the street from this house is a gas station and convenience store that you can see from the crawl space.
It's freaking Florida. I assume that's everywhere.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of this residential neighborhood is like a 7-Eleven.
It's a 610. It doesn't even rate 7.
That was the scene where I'm watching it like, what the hell is with these gators, man? They're hungry as shit. I mean,
oh boy, they have not eaten in a long time. And it's amazing because it's a 2-person movie.
Yeah, it really is.
It's just the daughter and her father, really, and the both of them in a really bad way, very early on. So I kept waiting. I'm like, oh well, there's got to be a whole cast of characters that come pouring into this. But anyone who comes in does not last very long.
Yeah, I actually think it's the father-daughter dynamic that raised this movie higher than I expected it to be, because I thought they did just enough character work with them and their relationship that you cared more than something on the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever. And I thought that raised it up more than, say, the storyline itself. But it was, it surprised me.
It's a Sci-Fi Channel movie put in the hands of professionals.
Talent. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
And a budget, because the Gators looked great.
When the water levels rise, that was all done really well. The water in the house and everything was surprising.
Yeah. And there's a dog in it, everybody. Will the dog die? Check out the website.
Oh, he knows what he's doing when he's shooting some of the stuff with that dog and the gators. It's like, you manipulative son of a bitch.
By the way, I was thinking when I think of that, I think of Humanoids from the Deep that, like, within the first 5 minutes kills a kid and a dog. Multiple dogs. They kill a bunch of dogs.
All the rules.
Like, that would not happen now. Too afraid of social media. People going nuts. What was, like, your favorite part of the movie?
Barry Pepper. I didn't even know who was in it.
The gas station looters was awesome.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Gas station looters. And even though you saw that scene in the coming attractions and the commercials about when she's in the shower, closing the door, it didn't matter. When I got to see it on the big screen, it was just as exciting. Like I had never seen it 1,000 times before it in coming attractions.
That's where one of the suspension of disbelief things comes in, because she puts her foot on this soap dish to launch herself, that I'm like, there's no way that soap dish would have held a human.
Well, she's tiny. Sure. Like us, no.
It's the whole movie. I mean, these gators are picking people up and slamming them down, but it can't get through the shower glass. Like,
I know they're punching holes through walls, concrete, shower glass.
It was done.
I'll tell you what else. If you were in Florida and that flood happened, the gators would only be half the problem, because all the freaking water moccasins that would be in there.
Yeah,
exactly. The water moccasins. Oh my God, that's another movie entirely.
So I should mention that one of the reasons I boycotted this was the trailer showed too much, and the scene I thought was gonna be the ending turned out to not be, but the other scene I thought was gonna be the ending was the shower sequence. The way they showed that and everything, that gives away what happens in a lot of the movie to a degree. Not, again, this isn't like plot twists and shit. So it wasn't as bad as I expected, but it still doesn't make me happy. But at the same time, I also understand they have to show something in the trailer. Like, you can't just show people sitting in the water shivering, So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. By the way, I'm impressed. How many beers has it been since you saw the last coming attraction of Crawl and then saw this and remembered anything from the coming attraction?
Pissed me off, man. I've been rampaging about trailers for 6 months.
Damn. I thought for sure enough brain cells would have dropped out in your vomit and pee by now, where it'd be,
that
gone.
Movie got on my list, and it takes a lot to get off it.
It's on the list.
But yeah, so the trailer didn't ruin as much as I feared. So,
Here comes the bell. Here comes the bell. Bring the bell. Bring the bell.
I just feel like we're getting to the point where it's time to talk spoilers.
Go ahead. Do it, Jack.
Does everybody concur?
Sure.
Yes. It's 3 thumbs up.
Go watch this. You'll enjoy
Spoiler
it.
time.
3 thumbs up. If you would not like Crawl spoiled, this is your warning. Spoiler bell.
Oh, I love that bell. You're like
okay.
The bell bitch.
I need a history of that bell at some point. Where did you get it? What do you have it for?
It is a London
really?
bell.
Why is it right by his freaking desk?
It is a bell from London that was my grandparents'.
No way.
And I brought it in here from the other room.
Just happened to land in there. It's all right.
So here's the thing, and this is not bothering me. I was just laughing about it. Was people get bit, people get hurt. The main girl gets her leg bitten first.
Pretty viciously.
And then later on, she sticks her hand in the alligator's mouth, and while it's biting her, she's shooting it. And neither of these injuries really bother her later in the movie. And while listen, let me tell you something. I like this movie better than The Shallows with Blake Lively.
Really? I still prefer The Shallows.
I prefer watching Blake Lively than this movie. But overall, I think this is a better movie. But I will give The Shallows this. She at least like dealt more with her leg injury. Neither one of them really, their injury really lasted too long.
They're Terminators in this movie.
Yeah.
I think because they're in the water, they're buoyant. Maybe the buoyancy helps with the injury.
Sure.
I don't know.
Should we try this in
arm
time?
gets torn off, which was awesome. But also, he does pretty well for a guy whose arm got torn off.
Yeah, and he's walking up the stairs on his broken leg. He's like, fuck it, let's go.
Yes, broken leg too.
Yeah, I think how I react with a stub toe when I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have just been dunking
But
my
who
head
cared?
over there to drown myself faster.
Yeah, but like I said, when you're wrapped up in this movie, who the F cares? Dolph Lundgren could have dropped out of the sky and battled an alligator to his death, and I'd been like, oh, awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to be willing to forgive all the things we're mentioning, and usually these things bother me, but I think just the tone of it and what it was, a big monster movie, I just was like, the hell with it. I enjoyed it. Whereas I couldn't forgive this crap in Godzilla. For some reason, I can in Crawl, so figure that out. I'm stupid.
Because Crawl was giving you exactly what they told you they were going to give you.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
We're going to,
yeah,
you know, and listen, when the cops come and all get eaten, that was awesome. That was a great way to add stakes to this.
Thanks
and
for the
they
help,
just
guys.
get unceremoniously get chomped.
Didn't you think he was that guy was going to live who knew her, and he would be the savior?
I don't know. I didn't know if he'd be the savior, but I thought he'd at least get a date out of it or something.
I thought they gave that away in the trailer though, because I remember seeing somebody getting
they probably did
chomped like that. So,
by the way, there's not a lot of death in this movie either.
5 people?
There's
the body count is maybe 5. I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several gators also died.
Yeah.
God bless.
There's a lot of bites by gators. Yeah.
Does PETA give a shit about alligators?
Does anybody? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm wondering. I'm sure the dog and everything else, but the gators, maybe
Those
not.
freaking gators were so aggressive, it was hilarious. I mean, God help you, if you were within 50 yards of them, you're toast.
I mean, you've been in Florida. I'm sure you've seen a gator or two. They just kind of look at you lazily and go,
shit.
Whatever.
There's great footage on YouTube of a guy like going to get his golf ball and a gator coming after him. Like, you got to be careful.
Good, kill all golfers. No offense, Jack. I know you golf.
Check me if I'm wrong, but if we kill all the golfers, they're going to lock us up and throw away the key.
You golf in the Northeast. You're fine.
Shane wants to know if the dog died. I guess we're in spoilers, so I can say no. The dog actually makes it. So, all you dog lovers.
Not that Shane really cares. You should see how he talks to his dog. It's so funny because he talks to his dog in just horrible ways with like a nice tone. And I've adopted that with one of my cats. It's just a surreal moments when you go, "What's up, you stupid fat motherfucker? I hope you die." And they're all like happy to see you. It's all about tone. They don't know the words.
I've done that.
Especially when you're doing the show.
Yeah. So the dog makes it the whole way to the roof of the house, which is impressive.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah,
your dogs would.
Oh, my dogs would die instantly. Instantly. My wife would die trying to save the dogs. So.
Well,
You know what else was funny was when they're trying to walk to the gas station, and there's like gators all over, but they're like, "Stay still," and they won't bother you. And I'm like, "Wait, where did that come from?" Because before, like,
yeah,
but then
I was just gonna say I liked how before each important scene, Barry Pepper came up with alligator rules that he would say. And then you knew exactly how the scene was going to play out because she was going to break all the rules in some way. And then I was also thinking, are these real alligator rules, or is he just making this shit up as they go? It sounded like he was making it up.
Hashtag
And
alligator
they
rules.
actually make it to the gas station, and then the friggin' tsunami comes and shoves them right back in the house.
They escaped for 40 seconds.
They needed the
Oh my
Debbie
God.
Downer. They needed the
That was-
Debbie Downer. Wah, wah.
That was a lot of effort for nothing.
Yep.
But you know what? That's very much like life.
And I did like how he keeps calling her an apex predator, and her swimming comes in and everything. But that is a family of apex predators, because it does not matter what happens. They just keep chugging. I mean, his leg is broken. His arm is gone. She was bit in the shoulder, in the arm, in the leg. And they're just still kicking ass at the end. It's like...
By the way, that's a great drinking game with this movie. Every time they say apex predators, if you took a drink, you're dead of alcohol. You're John Bonham in the tub when you're done.
So
I'm so glad you guys finally saw this. Now you're in with me.
it's
Nice.
a better movie than it has any right to be.
Exactly.
We keep saying that. Like, the bar's so low now. It's like we see Haunt. Oh my God, it was actually good.
It's this year, man. The first 9 months of this year just wrecked me. So now everything I watch, I'm like, this is good. Yep.
Hopefully we don't have many left. I mean, we've got The Lodge
Dr. Sleep,
and Dr.
The
Sleep
Lighthouse, maybe,
and
if it comes here.
The Lighthouse. Yeah, we'll probably see that next
Black
year.
Christmas. There's some more.
Fuck Black Christmas. Jesus Christ.
Damn.
This is the third one, right? Do we need a third one?
Yeah. Is this one Blumhouse? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's a trailer that shows you a lot.
I'm going to do a Video Visions column for Cemetery Dance that compares the first from the second. I'm not including the third.
Oh, the second one was.
Yeah, exactly. That's a tough knife fight. All right, we got anything left on this on Crawl?
No.
I'm spent.
good.
This episode might be longer than Crawl. It's a quick movie,
Yeah,
too.
it's fast.
So, for once, we all agree it was mostly positive vibes tonight. I think it was all good. This is good. This is the Halloween episode, essentially. This is what you're going to listen to on Halloween when it's all rainy and nobody's coming to your door and you're cursing the fucking Halloween gods, thanking gods that we're here.
If you want an aquatic triple feature, you watch this, The Lore, and Creature from the Black Lagoon.
And then quadruple feature, Humanoids from the Deep.
There you
And
go.
you are
And
set.
if you want to kill yourself, watch Howling 7.
Or if you want to amuse yourself, watch SBIG doing Halloween 7.
Hopefully Thursday. We'll see.
So we don't have a movie for next week. We haven't picked one out yet. We'll see whatever comes up. Whatever. If you all want to make suggestions, write in. Right into.
We probably
any of us.
won't listen, but
Yeah, whatever.
you never know.
Any movie that seems conducive to Tubby Time, let us know.
Before we go, when's that coming out? When's the third movie of that going to drop? It's been
I don't know.
Years.
It's been a while. We need more. I guess next. I think next year they said 2020.
Damn it! I need Tubby Time.
Tell me about it.
Please get us out of here.
Okay, so if you like the show, please rate us, love us, do whatever you got to do to promote Final Guys, or else we'll stop talking, and then your life will be bereft and empty and lonely. So until next time, thanks everybody, and goodbye.
Arrivederci, baby.
Bye.
Game over, man.